Hello everybody, Marco here again with another video. Thank you so much for tuning in again, because today we want to talk about some books. As you know, and as you can see, the weather is getting worse and worse, at least here in Germany. And of course we can play guitar, because we don't need to go outside for playing guitar. But there are moments when you just don't want to play guitar, but still want to do something that's guitar related. For many people, of course, that's watching YouTube videos. You can watch live concerts on the internet. You can watch gear reviews. You can read some stuff on internet forums. Yeah, but what I did and what I always do when I'm on vacation, for example, is reading books. And of course, most of the time it needs to be guitar related, so I decided to start reading some autobiographies of some famous musicians, guitarists and stuff. Okay, so I want to recommend 3 books to you in this video that I really think are worth reading. So which biographies have I read so far? Well, that's Eric Clapton's biography, Lemmy Kilmister's biography, Jimi Hendrix Behind the Mirrors, Stevie Ray Vaughan's Texas Flood, and Ozzy Osbourne's biography. Currently I read Keith Richards' Life, which is also his autobiography, which is pretty cool. So which of these biographies can I recommend? Well, I would say all were pretty interesting to read, but some really stood out, and that's I want to take it down to three books that really stood out, at least to me. So the first book I can definitely recommend is Eric Clapton's autobiography. It's a really interesting read, and it's really surprising how his life went and what happened. I don't want to tell too much because I don't want to spoil you, obviously, but it's like, you know, when Game of Thrones, a big thing with Game of Thrones was you could never know what will happen. And that's basically the same thing with Eric Clapton's life. It was really interesting, and he definitely had a tough life, or still has obviously he's still alive, but he had some rough times, and it's really interesting, especially when you're a huge Clapton fan of his playing and his music. So go check it out. So the second book I want to recommend is Stevie Ray Vaughan's Texas Flood. So, of course, I'm a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, and it was really interesting to read how his life went and what happened to him. I can show you something, because I read this title in English, and it is written in a really interesting way. So you have all those speakers, like here Mr. Benson, Mr. Bramall, Azariah himself, Finance, Sublet, and so on. Steve Jordan, yeah. So you have all those statements from persons who knew him and persons who were with him. So it's like they tell his story most of the part, and it's really interesting because it's so many different subjective, let's say, opinions and statements, and that's what it makes it really exciting to read. So if you're a Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, I can definitely recommend Texas Flood. Really cool book. So, and now last but not least, I have a book of a vocalist, so not a guitarist, but still really interesting and entertaining. And I'm talking about Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography. I also read this one in English, and I can tell you it was so much fun. I don't know, I think I read it in 2 or 3 days because it was so exciting and funny. The stories within this book, I guess some of you already know some Ozzy Osbourne or let's say Black Sabbath stories, and it's killing me. It's so funny. So if you're into music and you like Black Sabbath or you like Ozzy Osbourne himself, you should definitely read it because it's fully packed with funny stories, and yeah, there are many laughs when you read this. Even if you're not a musician, but you don't want to read a funny book about a very special life and a very special person, you could also, of course, you could read this because you don't need to be a musician to have fun with it. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you will give one of these books or maybe all of them a go because they're really worth it. Next on my list is maybe Bruce Springsteen's autobiography. Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and stay safe and see you on the next one. Peace.